Yeah, I think open source is the connection between landform and open source is that in open source you have a communal ownership or a communal use of a property that is set up within an existing legal structure. So that you have like a large legal structure of ownership, and within that, open source allows you to make a small bubble where you can have some kind of communal ownership. You could possibly do the same thing with land. It's been tried. It's been tried both by people in the intentional community and commune movement in the 70s, and also more recently by Mali in these land trust structures. I think that having a shared, the possibility of a shared use of land is a way of being able to establish a relationship with the land that's tighter and more respectful, because you're able to create that relationship to the land with other people. So the possibility of forming relationships with other people in respect to some land makes it more possible to form a connection with the land.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions straight away? I have a.
In the information beforehand, I understood you would show something from Elinor Ostra, and I think for everybody to really understand collective, how to govern collective land, it's very good to understand some of her thoughts and research.
Perhaps is the best.
Yes, I'm sorry that this information went out that we will show her. She has an online, you can find her on YouTube and watch a lecture. Do you remember what it's called? If you look for Elinor Ostra, you will find it. But the importance in this situation with her work is, like you mentioned also, that she's questioning this fact that we cannot take care of something together, because everybody will only think about themselves, and they will ruin any common land or any common belongings, and that this is actually wrong. And she has collected a lot of proofs that this is wrong, and there are proofs for this everywhere. It's in a small vägförening on Öland. You are governing a common problem or a common asset, and this works. And this doesn't mean that you will destroy everything to get your own benefit. I think that's a point that I find very important this evening, is this point, that we just said it outside with the cigarette, that it's not so difficult to imagine. It is difficult to imagine that you would give away the things you own, but it's not so difficult to imagine that you would share them, because actually, if you didn't share them, life would be totally boring and hopeless and empty if you didn't share anything. Of course, this is a sort of basic feeling, but I think we should be brave enough or radical enough to start to also imply this, to start to also do this somehow. This is what we're looking for, a system or a way or method to do it, because we would all be happier, or maybe.
I can say briefly that, like other commentators have mentioned, that actually it's a tragedy of the tragedy of commons that we've been believing these ways of thinking for so long and forgotten much of the efforts and movements of the late 19th century, which is very strongly based on cooperativism and mutualism. And it's actually the tragedy that we forgot that. And it's interesting with the open source movement and other online network collaborations, that it's reminding people that actually there is a lot of social, economical value in working together and doing things together. And thankfully this is also paying off in the mainstream economical scene, and people get Nobel Prizes for this. So it's a point of view which has not gone away, but has been marginalized, especially in the last 40 years. And the economical points of view that you were mentioning have unfortunately not got the headlines that they should have over the times. But through online networking and the sort of demonstration of peer-to-peer power online, that people are remembering that this also works offline, and it can be applied in many aspects of society.